Hello and welcome to the show. It's great to see everybody. Let me just check that the setup's working properly. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I actually a live person? Seems like it. Seems like all is working correctly. Welcome to the show. If you've anything you'd like to chat about, just let me know. Links in the description for getting in touch with important questions. I'll do a little update on the technical analysis. So I will. Daily time frame up 14.40%. RSI very strong, managed to make it into the overbought area, but on the retracement on the RSI it held its own moving average and boosted on up again. That target at the bottom of the gap, 1.77. Most recent level of support we would say is 118, 119. The wick down matching these previous resistance levels, now potentially support. After one test you couldn't be 100% sure what would it be in a wick and a reaction, but so far so good. If that doesn't hold, then you'd be looking at various important closes within this trending move to the top side. Next most important after 118 would be that psychological level of $1, which is also the breakdown point here at the start of the reversal. And then below that in at around 80 cents, which is the high here in the middle of May. So very positive there. I would suggest that those are the three important areas below. $1 will be absolutely stacked with orders. Most companies that get a delisting notice due to delinquency on the NASDAQ only recover because of a reverse split. Very, very few then go on to maintain that level of $1. Fewer still recover above $1 without a reverse split. And again, very few of them ever manage to maintain that standing for 10 trading days. But today, Lishman has made it to number 5, closing at 147, as I say, up 14.40%. Super positive moves. Targets above the immediate one is that what we're looking to. Support levels below as we identified. RSI showing a lot of strength at the important levels. Now living within the bullish control on the daily time frame. 4 hour, we do a lot of our good work. You can see it holds within this bullish control zone. It is now touching back against its moving average from below. But putting that in context, it is living in the bullish control zone, has been above there previously, and is now at the top side of a channel, which we spoke about how to use those recently for the benefit of your technical analysis. So price is consolidating. There's no breakdown out of the bullish control zone. It's at resistance. You have the parallel channel detailing how you would manage your risk and make the most of that trade. On the hourly time frame, you can see it's recovered, held its own moving average and touching the bottom side of that bullish control zone. If you were to take a trend line across these previous peaks, you could easily see it pushing up and testing this trend line and breaking out of that channel and making its way up to these higher targets, 170, or even closing that gap up at around 238 to 41. So very positive. Why has that happened? Well, on the 30-minute time frame, taking a look at, I said I was going to, but I really want to get it up here. The MACD, you had your breakthrough on the center line here, at which point price recovered from that previous period of consolidation at support and boosted back up to test these previous highs. We gave that signal yesterday that that was likely to happen. So that's why price has performed as it has done today. It's a breakdown of the potential on the moves to the top side, why it might happen, and what to look for, what to see with regards to warning signs, and where you would find support if it breaks. So that's a top level technical analysis on this stock, and if you've got questions, I'm happy to answer them. Just let me know. Great to see the chat box busy. 95 viewers. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have you hit the like button yet? I'll be about to check that in a shortly in the moment. Checking the shortly in the moment thing. Over here, that's where I do that. Carmen, good to see you, buddy. Tipped $10, bing bong. LivePerson has the best memes. Thanks very much. They are the best memes. We love those memes. Thank you very much, Carmen. Great to see you. YouTube Studio. Oh, only 50 people if it like. Trade point. Lisbon announced a webinar on Tuesday on LinkedIn. Thank you for the stream. How very interesting. We'll have to check that out. Thanks, Bartos. 51 likes, 121 views. You'll have to hit that up. That'll have to hit 100. Like, immediately. That's going to have to hit 100. So, get on it, guys. We got the chat box on the screen there. I got the Streamlabs Ultra so that I could do the multi-streaming, and then it said you need to get Twitter Premium to stream to Twitter, so I got that. And then they said, well, we'll get around to verifying that soon. And I thought, wait a minute, soon? I have to be live in 2 minutes. Good evening, BMJ. Great to see you. Minner gifted a membership. Boom, Mr. Robot. Congratulations, sir. Daniel Gallagher, $100. Boom, sharing half of my first successful day trade with you, Jamie. I'm on the free side of things. I can't afford to pay for the academy yet, but I was so excited when I was able to cap $200 off LivePerson today. Thank you so much for being the most honest YouTuber that I know. Thank you so much for that generosity, Daniel. How do I hit like? Why won't it let me hit like on it? I'm hitting like on it. It doesn't let me like it, and I want to love it. I got 10 likes. Daniel Gallagher, that's really appreciated. Thank you very much, mate. Gallaghers are my cousins. Lots of cousins called Gallagher. Are you from Ireland, buddy? My cousins are all there. Oh, this is my work account. Oopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. Thank you very much. That's really generous, Daniel. Appreciate that. That's huge donation from one person. Thank you so much, sir. And Minna were the gifted membership too. What a bloody brilliant, hugely positive donation. Thanks so much, and the kind words. Cheers, Daniel. Very welcome for the help, my friend. Hey Theodore, I see you're interested in GameStop. BMJ gifted 1 trade spotting memberships. The Candyman. It's the Candyman. Congratulations, Candyman. Thank BMJ for that very generous donation. Mr. Robot, thank Minner for your membership gift, please. Lady K, great to see you. How you doing, legend? Absolute legend. Fortnite Chills also gifted a membership. There you go, Carson. Lucky lad, Carson. Bacon Pancakes gifted a membership. Daniel Gallagher got it too. Well, there was nobody more deserving. Well, that's a match made in heaven. You two are now married. A brilliant match up there. I sent you an X trade spotting. I found an article of more funds buying. Okay, more funds? Even more? Yep. They're smart. They're smart funds. Whoever runs them's very smart. Very intelligent. We've only managed to get the likes up to 78. You've got Daniel Gallagher and BMG, Minner, and Fortnite Chills to thank. Banaking the pancakes. I can feel my blood sugar disappearing. I sent you a tip. You did, Justin Pickerel, Mr. Pickerel. You did. Thank you for all you and Rocky do, Jamie. Am I crazy porridge brain for buying 50 16th of October calls last Friday with a 50-cent strike for the purpose of adding on next Friday at 50-cent cost? Guess I'm a 5% lol, or trying to make my payday go further. I don't understand the question. Can you explain it more just in the chat box there, and I'll probably get it that way. Brew Lee, thank you very much, you lovely, generous, hugely cool person. And I went to Lady Katie. What a brilliant. It's great to see that. Good people. Getting a membership gift there. Thanks very much, Brew Lee. I appreciate that. Great to have you back on board, Lady Katie. I don't think I should brag because I don't yet know what I'm doing, says Diana. And I've been a tiny bit reckless, but I made $3,000 this week. A month ago, I had $50 worth of ACHR. Now I have 5,000. Congratulations, Diana. You're doing fantastic. Yes, sir, Trisbon. Excellent, Justin. I'll read it here when I see it. Howdy, Zach. So I think what you're saying is, am I crazy to be buying October calls? The reason you might be crazy would be because that's a relatively soon expiry. Jamie, I posted my $600,000 YOLO on the Lisbon Reddit. Do you think I should keep holding? Says Pigeon Lord. Great to see you, Pigeon Lord. How you doing, buddy? $600,000. Do I think I should hold? Well, the question is really relative to your own risk tolerance and then what that represents with regards to your life, right, Mr. Pigeon? So you'd be thinking, keeping an eye out for your message, Justin. No worries if you're typing it in. I'll see it when it comes up. So what you really be thinking there is, what is the way that you're going to manage that trade with respect to capital protection and profit protection? And then the implications for that will be how much that money means to you and where you entered and how you would react if price changed. Now, great work, Jimmy, you beauty. Great to see you, Bruce. Thank you very much. $30. Boom. Boom. Thank you very much, Mr. Bruce. Appreciated. So, it's all relative, right? 600,000 means different things to different people. And what it means to you is what's important, Mr. Pigeon. So, if that 600,000, you couldn't live without it. If it would be a huge loss for you to suffer through a downtrend. If those prices below where it likely finds support would be difficult to withstand emotionally, psychologically, financially, then it would really benefit you to use a stop loss. That stop loss on the beginning of your trade might be slightly, below where you're entering, and so that would form the cost of trade. How much it would cost you if your stop got hit. I followed you for your brilliant TA about GameStop, and that's how I found out about LPSN. As soon as we take off, I'll thank you with a proper donation. $5. Mingdelich. Thank you very much. That's very much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Can I hit the heart button on it? I can. All right. I can hit that on other ones too then. Sweet. Got him. I got him. Thanks so much for the donations and the membership gifts, everybody. You're really appreciated. So yes, Mr. Pigeon, what you're looking at there is how much that money means to you. I found this channel just like a month ago and ended up throwing a bunch of the account in. It's up so much, man. I got in at 55 cents. So whatever happens, I love you. Very much appreciated, Mr. Pigeon Lord. That's very, very good question you got there. So really it's about how you'd be able to withstand those moves back down again, as opposed to what happens if it goes up, right? Because we can't force price to go up. We can just protect our profit. And the way you would do that would be with a stop. So you might use a stop loss strategy, and Rocky Outcrop's video on Wednesday explains where you might put a stop, and he talks about a pullback stop loss. Now, within that, you need to look at the chart. So you would go to price action. You would look to the significant levels where the trend is. And I would suggest on LPSN, it's a highly volatile stock. That volatility is the dispersal of prices over a range, right? So another way of saying that is how far price travels in any given period of time. And LPSN travels a great distance over a short period of time compared to the main stock in the market. So it's highly volatile, which means that prices can move a big degree to the top side or a big way back down again. And so a pullback stop loss strategy in those circumstances can often be hit. I've got a video on my channel that explains how you can, with rationale, add to that area beyond the pullback with a safe stop that, should it get hit, would represent an out of character move for price. And even if it was to pull back up again, subsequently it could continue on down again. So putting your stop beyond the pullback means that as long as the trend persists, you're in the trade. Adding to that, because this is the nature of the stock and how volatile it is, you might want to use the ATR. So if you search stop losses on my channel, you'll get a video perfect for you in this scenario, mate. Absolutely perfect. And it'll explain how to add to that stop loss area. Those stop losses currently being in at around 118, and the next one being in at around $1, where there's also a gap on the charts, which suggests that this is a strong area for a retracement, and we all understand that due to the delinquency notice, it could potentially come back and test support at those areas because it's important for fundamental reasons. And if that didn't hold, I think there would be a reaction here, but in at around 80 cents is also a potential area. And that speaks about the pullbacks, okay? And I'd like to distinguish between them and areas where price could potentially bounce. Okay, price could bounce at lots of different levels within that. Around 88 cents, for example, is a strong area for a likely bounce if price reached it, especially in one move. So stop losses and the areas you'd put them aren't necessarily the same as where price would bounce if it was to travel in that direction. But what you'd want to look to is the stop loss areas based on the pullbacks. Add into that distance because of the volatility in this stock, and then placing your stop just beyond that. That's one way of doing it, and it's profit protection. And if it's to be done as such and described as I've just done so, then that means all of your trade in one stop, all at that exact level. But it might well be that you'd be comfortable with splitting your position up into various chunks via multiple stop losses across all of those pullbacks, so that should price make a retracement back down again, much of your profit has been protected. Fortnite Till's another membership gift. Boom! Thank you so much. Consider thanking those people that get you those memberships. If it suits you, renew or upgrade your membership and you'll be here forever, benefiting from these amazing moves, part of this brilliant community. So Pigeon Lord, that's what you're looking at. Stop loss strategy, profit protection, pullback strategy, adding on the ATR, splitting that stop up into various chunks, and then maintaining some of that profit should price come back down again. If you're bullish on the stock, if you think a retracement to these levels would still allow you the opportunity to add to your position again, that means that when price goes through your stops and finally comes to rest before reacting and going up again, you could, especially with the help of this community, this show, and the Rocky Outcrop Discord, you could find the right place to enter again. Zazap gifted a membership. Boom, thanks so much. So you would be able to manage your position, protect your profits, and also, should price return to an area you're comfortable entering again, then you could reinvest those funds and have an even bigger position, an even greater share of Lisbon, and you would be set then to benefit even more should price move back up again. And price does move up and down. So if you were able to implement that strategy, which I've tried to explain in simple terms, then you would be capturing those moves, behaving in a professional manner, and making the most of your position. All of that is derived from your own risk tolerance, how much that money would mean to you if it was to drop, and your own diligence with regards to the chart. So it will rely on time at the market, time in the charts, and your courage and conviction in your beliefs. And I think that if your intentions are bullish, then there is nothing compromising about adopting that strategy. It'll help you make the most of moves in price, and you'll be able to then potentially increase your position size in an area you're comfortable with should price go against you. If price simply continues to the top side, then you might never get your stop hit and you wouldn't have to worry. If you're looking for more advice about how to increase that stop, how to follow price and protect your profit better, then definitely consider taking my course at www.technicalanalysis.school. It would serve you very well in that purpose. And you'll get lifelong access to myself, Rocky Outcrop, and the rest of the lieutenants here in the community who'll be very eager to help you, buddy. Very eager to help you. Not because of the size of your position, just because you would have self-identified as one of us in that way, and everybody there would also acknowledge that that's a very large position and they'd want to make sure you made the most of it. And it sounds like you know, you're set for a huge potential as a trader, that you've got that ability to take that level of risk, that you have these funds to put to use in that way. And I would suggest that you could go a really long way, mate. You could make a big difference to yourself, your family, your community, and great to see you making such big strides. So congratulations, and well done. Well done so far. Right. Top play as always. Direct, how you doing? $10, thank you very much. I wish I could buy a lower. I wish I could buy a lower. But it all looks towards 240 now. That's interesting, you should say that. Here it is previously at higher prices than it is at the minute, right? RSI, wait, check that out here. Tripton, what are you doing? Here's RSI, it's lower than it was previously, but price is challenging that previous high, though not yet at that level. And when we turn on the MACD, is this the MACD? Yes, you can see that it's considerably further away than it was from the previous high, despite price being so approximate. And so there are warning signs. The fact is that price has touched on a long-term resistance on a diagonal trend line, come back down, found support in line with this linear progression, and is now back testing that level again. So it could well be that you would anticipate momentum on this next thrust being lower until such times as that area breaks, at which point you'd see that price move and the momentum go with it, and your indicators burn off any divergence. But it's true to say there's a warning sign at the moment. And so that might seem like me dampening your expectations and suggesting that patience is the right answer. But patience is one solution to your problem. It doesn't necessarily mean I believe price will come back down again, nor is that the only strategy for increasing your position. When you're trading, regardless of the ticker, the company, the sector, the industry, the products they sell, the community behind it, your own personal feelings about that company, your emotions, none of those things are what you're trading. What you're trading is risk. And the risk at these areas is extremely different from a test of a trend line that's been proven to be support, which would be a much lower risk and a much higher chance of being right. Likewise, if price breaks from this level at 160, 170, then that test turns to around 240. That becomes lower risk than entering right now, which is ahead of resistance and could potentially face rejection. So Didec, I'd be careful to make sure that it wasn't my emotions taking over my strategy, but risk management that it was at the heart of it. And so I would pay close attention to the risk profile of any stock with regards to the entry area. Thank you very much for that $10, appreciate it. And Zap, thank you so much for that donation. I'm going to go looking for Justin's message to answer it properly. Pigeon Lord, I'll take that advice, adding more again soon with my $1 calls when we rip. I shan't forget where I came from. Pigeon Lord, that's very, very grateful. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend. Great to have you in the community here, sir. Thank you very much for being here. So excited for earnings on Wednesday. Yes, there's earnings on Wednesday. I think the management team is going to crush earnings. Well, they've only really kind of got into the hot seat. And a turnaround takes a long time. In this particular company, they're focusing on customer acquisition, restructuring the pricing model and making it clearer, putting new people in key positions, and then after they've got a solid footing, delivering some sustainable growth. So we wouldn't put too many expectations on them right now, but if that's true, and they still come through with some good earnings, then you'd be extremely bullish on that company. That doesn't mean they need to have good earnings. It could simply be that the guidance that comes with them is very bullish. And so in a period of transition, and in a company such as this one that's facing a delisting notice, hasn't resorted to a reverse split, could have moved its earnings to any other day it wanted, but kept them on the day that the Fed meeting happens, which is a ballsy move, does seem to be a very strong statement of intent, regardless of what those figures are. So we're happy with that sign of courage from the board and that confidence that they're expressing. I would take that as a positive note. Good message there. Thanks for that one. Let me hit like. Can I hit heart on that? Why wouldn't it give me a heart on that one, Didek? Why wouldn't it let me? Fortnite Chili's with a membership gift. Thank you very much. Thank him there, Joe. Deeks D did 5 membership gifts. Michael Bell. Old People PB, Richard Stewart, and Oren. Congratulations. Thank XD for that very generous gift. Thank you. Minner gifted 5 memberships as well. Bruce, Hazel, Jugmaxa. Pints with Aristus. And then Justin Michael. All lucky people. Baked Potatoes, 2 months. Thank you, Jamie. Love the live stream. Bing bong. Thank you very much, Mr. Baked Potatoes. Good to see you. BMJ gifted 5 memberships. Boom. Thank that man. Well, this is bloody brilliant. What a bloody brilliant show it is. Thanks so much, BMJ. Right, where's Justin's message? It'll be in here. There it is. I was trying to maximize 2 paydays, locking in how many shares I could get at $1 cost. Trees blowing. Yes, so you're utilizing the options chain to acquire more shares. By buying an option, you get given the right, but not the obligation, to buy those shares at a later date at the strike price. That later date is the expiry, and you've chosen the 16th of October. Typically, we would look for at least 3 months out, which gives us August, September, October. So you're right on that limit, but it may well be that you'd like to manage those contracts. The best day to manage those contracts would typically be on a Wednesday, so keep that in mind. It may well be that come the last month and you're looking at that expiry approaching on the horizon, it might be that Wednesday that you'd pay most attention to those contracts. This is all advice that's not financial advice, trading advice, and neutral with regards to what the price chart is doing, but exclusively about how you manage that particular type of instrument. The reasoning and the advantages or disadvantages of using that method to acquire more shares is, in your situation, you're waiting for a payday to come, which, when it did arrive, should it be tomorrow, you would use to spend on shares. The price you would be paying then, if it was right now, would be $1.46 in the post market, or $1.47 if you'd done it just before close. So the price of those shares would be $1.47. Buying those option contracts with a 3-month expiry and the intention of exercising those shares means that you're having to pay for the premium in the trade. That premium is in part due to the time value that's contained within this 3-month horizon. And that 3-month horizon is a cost to you as well as an advantage. That's the time in the contract. Because price, especially when it's in a bullish trend, and if that was to be continued, and as traders we expect continuation, you would anticipate price moving further and further to the top side, giving you more and more distance between those share prices and the price you would get should you sell that contract. So with your particular situation, you're trying to secure the right now to those shares at a later date when you have the liquidity from your job. So you're using a leveraged position to facilitate a larger share count at a later date, which means that you're taking an awful lot of risk. Okay, we'll be frank and upfront about that. You're taking an awful lot of risk For that risk, you could be rewarded quite greatly if it is that price is to make a positive move. If it escapes the delinquency notice, if it maintains that $1 then for 10 business days, if the trend continues to the top side, if earnings are positive, and that's a risk-on event, which means that a lot of people would simply close their positions, in particular an options trade, in advance of that movement, regardless of direction. They'd close it because the volatility adds another dimension to the risk, which they can't quantify because the information isn't yet known. And so in terms of minimizing risk, a lot of people would see that as the primary objective and then close the trade. So you'd be absorbing that extra risk, and you'd be then making a decision that was very much with the belief that price is going to go up. And your objective is to secure the right to buy them at a lower price. That lower price is very deeply in the money. And so a lot of the value in those contracts is determined by how far above that strike price they currently are. The price is currently 300% up nearly from that, that figure, 50 cents, 150, right? It's a big difference there. So you're paying an awful lot in this instance because it's 3 months away, which is typically a good thing, and you're buying deeply in the money calls, which is also typically a good thing, but it's all under certain circumstances. Ideally, when you're buying deeply in the money calls and you're looking for a distant expiry that would be 1 or 2 years away, and you'd be looking for a long-term equity acquisition, a LEAP contracts, but they're not available on the chain for LPSN. The best you could possibly do at the minute is January. So it may well be in your particular circumstances, Justin, now this isn't financial advice, that you might look to that January contract. You might try and get some contracts that are their expiries in January and their strike isn't so deeply in the money, therefore they'd be slightly cheaper premium. And then should the trend go as you expect anyway, then you would benefit from a greater rise in price. You would be less subject to the cost of that trade going against you. And that might be what you want to consider. The problem then is that if your intention is to exercise those contracts, you'd be having to pay the $2 compared to the 50 cents. So it would cost you more if you were exercising to acquire the shares. But if your method was to sell the contracts and then invest in the shares with the profits, you would get your premium returned, which could be much greater at that point. And you would then have the flexibility of choice with regards to when the shares were bought and indeed the amount of shares that you acquired. So it may well be, and I'll chat about this with you more on the Discord. That's at www.discord.gg/Rocky Outcrop, and happily chat with you more there. The way I would look at it is that there's some flexibility in your strategy for the strike price. There's some flexibility in that you could change the expiry date that you're looking at. And the methodology by which you acquire those shares subsequent to that trade closing could be perhaps also allowing you a degree of flexibility. And that flexibility is incredibly valuable. And while they've got alpha, theta, gamma, delta, and lots of Greeks with regards to the options, they don't have flexibility built in. There's not flexibility, but you can create that yourself from a wise and considered trading strategy, and I'm happy to give you advice on how that might work. Though this isn't financial advice about that regulated product, it's simply explaining how it might be that you would want to implement a considered strategy. So we'll talk more about it. It's a really good question. Thanks very much, Justin. I appreciate that. I also would like to caution about FOMO, the fear of missing out, and say to everyone here, We've called many 100% moves, right? We've called 16,000% moves. We've called 20,000% moves. In the last year alone, we've called two 5,000% moves. If you keep the faith in trade spotting and persist in this community, you will undoubtedly come across lots of opportunities in future. I will always do my best by you. And the longer the time you spend at the markets, the better you'll come as a trader. The longer the time you spend here, the more knowledge and skills you'll absorb from the great people that make this community so fantastic. So keep the faith. Don't worry about all the good things that could be, and instead control what you can. And what you can control is you're part of something special here. It's never exclusively about the ticker. The things that we're doing, they define us as amazing. They create a reputation and a trust and a sense of solidarity between us and each other. And everybody, whether you're new or old to this community, is welcome to be part of this team. All that matters is that you've got the right attitude and respect. Commitment, resilience, and that teamwork, though it's in groups of one, they are what will get you through and help you achieve your goals as a trader. It's never about capturing the entirety of the move or maximizing your position size. It's always about controlling those things you can with the greatest wisdom you have. And in that sense, there is no missing out, right? There is no missing out. We're all taking part in something. We're all achieving great things, and that will continue. So if it isn't today, it'll be tomorrow. If it isn't tomorrow, it'll be next week. And if it isn't next week, I'll be getting really fucking pissed off because I move fast and make fucking moves and do damage. But no, seriously, if it isn't next week, it'll be next month. And it will happen for you. You will achieve great things. And if you're in any doubt of that, look around you in the chat box and see the calm, wise, considered approach that the most successful traders here take. They're not looking to make $1 million tomorrow. They're not looking to make $1 million next week. They know that over time and with patience, they'll be successful. And they control those things they can. Their own commitment, their own confidence, and they're patient. And the best traders let prices come to them. And those best traders, they're here. So there is no such thing as FOMO here, right? The only thing you could miss out on is being part of this community and doing the things that we do together in groups of one, which we've done multiple of and will continue to do in the future. So, we gotcha. What did I miss in the chat box? In the chat box. Listen, Pickerel, freaking love you, mate. Thank you. Anytime, my friend, anytime. Fortnite Chilies. I've been here for over a month now. Everyone is friendly, everyone is helpful, no one judges. The traders are insane. Jamie and Rocky are incredible people, just like everyone in this group. That's a really nice message, Fortnite Chills. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it, especially the mention of Rocky Outcrop. All of this only possible because of Rocky Outcrop. I am not here with prices. Prices are in here with me. Good take. Truth one, I think there's an echo. Right, maybe there is. Maybe there is. Let me check. Is there an echo? Echo, 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 echo. There was. It's now fixed. I missed El Jefe the legend. El Jefe, what did you say? Might have scrolled too quickly past it. Let me get there. Look at all of that. What? Who was that? El Jefe gifted 50 memberships. Bloody hell. Holy shit. Holy shit. El Jefe, El Jefe, the boss. He's your boss now. Alex, Stuart, Jesse, A. What an amazing, amazing move there from El Jefe. What a guy. What an incredible guy. That's incredible. I'm sort of speechless. Still trying to work through this speechless moment here. Very rare that happens, but it has happened twice. Thank you so much, El Jefe. You're right up there. Right up there with the biggest legends going. 50 memberships. 50 people. Welcome to the gang. Bloody hell. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, there might have been some extremely good things done by different people on YouTube today, but what matches up to Daniel and El Jefe with that sort of a move? 50 memberships. Oh my god. If you're looking for a membership, I think that YouTube determines how to give them out based on your watch time, your engagement in the chat box, and various factors with regards to how close you follow the channel. So thank you very much for being here, and congratulations on getting one of those memberships. But bloody hell, make sure to thank El Jefe. That's 50 wives. You're gonna have 40s will be after your El Jefe. There's definitely some rules against having 50 wives, even in the most positive places. There's some rules against that. 50 different new wives. Wow. El Jefe, thank you so much. I'll never forget that. I'll always appreciate it. I hope everybody else that got one there, consider upgrading, consider subscribing long term, consider renewing. El Jefe started you off on that journey there, and that is very generous of you. Thanks so much, mate. 50 membership gifts. You know, I don't know actually what other YouTube shows are like. I mean, how many members is that today? I mean, does that normal? Do other YouTube channels get that? Does that happen? Like, that's crazy. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Thank you, El Jefe. That's incredible. Oops. Right, I have sort of recovered there a little bit. I've a little bit recovered my composure. Oops, that's the wrong button. Thank you so very much, El Jefe. Wow. Wow. $126 likes. 72 new members. That's what it is. 72 new members. Oh my god. That's amazing. Does though appear that some of those people who've been gifted a membership haven't hit the like button, and that reflects poorly on you, so make sure you do that. Thank you so much, El Jefe. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting the show. Week has passed, so the population of TradeSpot and membership grows to new heights. To new heights. That's really, really appreciated. Thanks so much for that contribution. It makes a huge difference to the channel and its sustainability, these sort of actions. Over the last 28 days, we lost more members than we ever had done in any month before, despite doing something here that's world-changing together in groups of one, because of the actions with regards to the GameStop leadership and their interactions with the nature of politics in America. Lisa, 5 memberships. Lisa, who does so much for me, as well as supporting the show recently with big membership donation, with big cash donation there of $50 the other day. Now, 5 membership gifts for people, which is bloody brilliant. There'll be very few people watching along who are not a member now then, if we've only got 120 users and we've got 77 membership gifts. Like, blew my neck. That's kind of crazy. Is there any names that aren't green in the chat box? Yeah, so there was negative actions from the CEO of GameStop, and it had implications for the community at large. And I don't think that it reflected on this channel really. I think that it was more a reality of how when politics are brought into communities, they tear at the fabric of them. That these arguments and discussions can turn in from debate into vitriolic attacks. That people can feel like commentary about the situation or the communities represented by these each side can feel like attacks on them and the things they care about. And I don't think any of it's ever really intended by the vast majority of commentary, but that can be how it feels. It's also true to say that some people don't share those political affiliations and feel like then investing in one company is an endorsement of candidates that they themselves don't support. And it was a tough couple of weeks there for GameStop because of that action. I notice now the logo's changed colour, and many of the commentaries that have come out just over the last few days have further compounded that situation. So I empathize with you if you feel like that's a difficult situation for you. I don't want to drag on GME. I don't want to try and bring down the board. And none of the things I've said are a criticism of them or of the other half of the debate. It's simply, I say the other half, right? But either half who really strongly advocates for one side or the other is what I mean. And it's easy for my words to be misinterpreted there. So I rely on you being calm and seeing the truth of what I'm saying. Though I'm not going to bother trying to emphasize it. If you don't believe me, you don't. But I would say that I feel like the universe has offered up a huge opportunity for us in LPSN. I can guarantee you that the board will never make the same decisions that have been made there at GameStop. I'm not criticizing GameStop, but I'm giving you and delivering a real truth there. The board at LivePerson will never make that decision. They will never make that sort of divisive commentary. It offers a true deep value play, a true deep value play. Back when GameStop was trading for $2, that's the sort of equivalent you're talking about now on LPSN LivePerson. It's unique in the market with the entirety of the things that are brought here to its advantage. And it's a new home for a lot of people who were in GameStop, and it's difficult to deliver this conversation when people are emotional or reactive with regards to their own holdings in GameStop. And my own history with the stock doesn't change those emotional feelings that other people have. So I don't mean to undermine your positions. I don't mean to make you feel any particular way. I do mean, though, that if you appreciate the sense of community, if you look for deep value opportunities, if you are interested in the meme culture, if that camaraderie, if that sense of change, if that impact on the markets that you had and were aiming for in GameStop, if that is still something you're looking for, but you aren't willing to do it in GameStop, then LivePerson is the best possible place you could be on any stock, on any market in the world. That's a fact. That's a very strongly held opinion of mine. Now, it might not be clear to you, but in the 4 years that I've been here on YouTube, I have talked about so many stocks. I have covered thousands of different companies. And we've achieved great things with many of them, but none of them, and I include everything I've said above in this, none of them have the potential of LivePerson. In the last couple of weeks alone, people who were underwater from trading GameStop or investing in it for 3+ years have made back all of the money they lost. And it's not even started yet. It's not even started yet. And not only that, but in the doing of that, in that action, we've done something never done before by retail traders. Taken a company and saved it from the clutches of exactly the people that everyone's fighting in GameStop, but so unable to land a punch over there. Here, we're winning round after round. And I can tell you that where it looks like in GameStop, you'll be fighting forever, right? Regardless of the likelihood of success or the outcome. Then LivePerson, you have a serious chance of defeating the enemy and causing them to join you in a move to the top side. You have a serious chance of doing that. And that message earlier that somebody put in said they sent me a link to the new funds that are buying in. That is the start of a trend that's going to accelerate. There's fundamental reasons for it. There's hugely important technical probable outcomes that are benefiting everyone who buys into this thing. And again, it's not financial advice. It's the strength of my conviction, the benefit of my experience. And if you're not clear, I'm putting the entirety of my reputation, which was hard earned, behind my strength of belief. So I'm with you on this one. Just as I'm still with everybody in GameStop and never sold a single share, but I know where my efforts can make a difference, and that's always been my goal. It's not GameStop that was ever going to be magic. It's not GameStop, the company, that was never going to be seen again as a phenomena. It was always the community. And you are that community, and you have this opportunity, whether you think that it's a version of a fight between Lipson and GameStop, which would be a ridiculous commentary, or if it's that you don't like me having a conversation about a different ticker and feel aggrieved by that, then I would suggest that that's just a misunderstanding on your part, and that there is a massive opportunity here. A massive opportunity that if it is that you're fully committed to GameStop, maybe with the benefits you win here, you use that to exploit opportunities over there. And I wouldn't have any critique of that whatsoever. So if I can help you, I will. And when I'm trying to now, it's not in trying to discourage you from GameStop, a company which has a lot of potential because of the people who invest in it and the strength of the investor base. At the minute, I'd put that box around that and say, that's the... So the strength of GameStop. Oh my God, I really do need to check what I look like before I do these streams on the internet to lots of people. So the benefit to GameStop is you, the investor base, and I'm not trying to discourage you from that opportunity, not in any way, shape, or form. But a lot of people are looking for a decision, are making decisions right now, and I'm trying to provide you with the best possible opportunity. Now, I'm not doing that in order to give everybody an escape route. It was long before Ryan Cohen started talking about Trump that I started talking about LivePerson. And I am not, although I have made many fantastic and accurate predictions, I don't know what's going to come out of Ryan Cohen's mouth or result from the tippy-tappy of his little fingers. It's simply that there's this opportunity, and the universe sometimes does you a favor. And at this instance, in this moment, I think it's doing you one. I think it's doing all of us one. And that's not because simply the technicals, right? The technicals define how we manage our risk, and that gives us the essence of probability with regards to how we take that risk and exploit it to the best of our benefit. But the reason I'm interested in LivePerson is because of the fundamentals, the transition it's going through, the period of change that it's in at the minute, the people who run in that company, the large funds who are investing in it, the activist investors and their history, the people who run that fund, and all of those different factors combined, along with the way in which their debt situation has been managed, the relationship between all of those entities, and the opportunity that we've been provided as a community to add to we are the gasoline on that fire. We are the thing that's going to make that go crazy, right? So there has never been an opportunity like this. There might never be something of quite this, an opportunity of quite the same composition ever again. But it's also true to say that in more ways than one, we have been provided with this opportunity. And so it's beholden on me to exploit it to the best of my abilities because I'm a trader, and to not do so would be to harm my own portfolio. And I am fully committed as a trader. I am not 90% in the game. I'm not half of my way in the door still holding it. I am 100% a born and bred trader. And also entirely, and for the entirety of my career and all the decisions I've made, I've always had an ethical focus. And because of that unique combination of us and me and Rocky, we have been provided with this opportunity. And along the way, we've made some really good friends. So we're making a difference. And our chances of a success, I think, are very, very strong. So thank you very much. What have I missed in the chat box? I don't mean to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. Yo, Vic Vince, it's so good to see you. Craig Ellis, you got a gift from Mr. Vic Vince. You're married now, Mr. Vic Vince. Oh, if you ever wanted a partner from Scandinavia, now you have one. They're the happiest. They're, by all accounts, incredibly good looking, and Vic Vince is no exception there. They're very, very charismatic, they're talented and fun to be around, and very positive influence on your life. You now, Craig, are married to Vic, and he is a great addition to your life. You're very, very lucky. Make sure you thank him. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate me. Lisa, 5 memberships. Look at all the people you're now married to. Look at that, Zach. Even you yourself, Zach Leopold, you got one. Moth. Hello again, Mr. Moth. Right. So I don't see any grey names. If you have a grey name, well, you're very much in the minority here. You'll have an email that explains who got you your membership gift, and give them a shout out when you find it and you return here to a later show. They appreciate you. Jamie, you're an absolute legend. Daniel Gallagher, you kicked it all off with that huge donation. You're a real star. Thank you very much. Nah. It's okay. I'm used to being the odd one out. Have you got accept gifts turned on? Nah. Good to see you, buddy. Bruce, you better watch what you've missed. Yes, if you're just new to the show now, arriving at this moment in time, go back and see what's been happening. We've covered lots of different things, from how to manage option trades, how it was that you would use a leveraged product, how to acquire more shares if you don't currently have the liquidity, the way in which you'd manage risk, how you'd manage a YOLO position, where you might want to re-enter, where you might want to place stops, and the best strategies to do these things. We've talked about the oscillations in the chart, the likelihood of it moving up or down again, the ways in which you'd measure that, and how you'd know where and when it was happening. Boom. Nick G, 26 months. 26 months, let's go LPSN. Appreciate you, Nick. We've also detailed how you can learn more about LPSN. You can do it on Rocky Outcrop's video on Wednesday, which went into extreme detail on the best ways to manage your risk beyond the level of detail that was delivered here today. So check out Rocky Outcrop's channel. He's the person who made all of this possible. He runs the Discord where all of this began and created the community, that created the connections, that created the reputation, that led to that gave birth to this opportunity. Another 5 memberships. Boom. I'll get one eventually. If you definitely have to hit select accept gifts, or you might not get one. But if you do, yeah, you know, this is all badly organized. It should be like this, shouldn't it? And it should have been like that from the start. But hey, don't say I don't fix things. I do. I'm Mr. Fixer over here. So we've covered an awful lot of different things in today's show. It's Friday, so normally, or at least I aspire to do a sploshing with you all tonight. They're fantastic. If you haven't been at Trade Spotting for a trade sploshing, then you're really missing out because they're incredible. But I've got a kidney infection, which is having an impact on my concentration and interrupting my thought processes every so often with sharp pangs. Also, it means that it wouldn't be wise of me to be drinking this evening. Been lurking since GME, only started interacting recently, swing trading Lipson at the minute, but really enjoying being part of the community. Thanks for all you do. DIY Doofus, thank you very much for noting that echo and helping me out there. Brad C, 5 membership gifts. Look at this, bloody hell, that's incredible. I think we've maybe got more new members than likes. That's an incredible ratio. Is that the case? Let me check. New members, 94, likes 148. Oof. Oof. Well, there's a great and important distinction going on right now, right? There's incredible people gifting memberships to levels that are unheard of on this channel. And there's people watching along, maybe some of them who get in these membership gifts, who are so obstinate, stubborn, toxic and stupid that they haven't managed to find their way to the like button. Now, this isn't like other YouTube shows for a significant and distinct number of reasons. And one of them is that I ask of you to do specific things and feel that it's on you and you're obligated to do it, right? So I deliver before and ask you then to return that favor in good faith, at the very least, by making your way to the like button and clicking it. So if you haven't managed to do it yet, do it now. Make sure you also share this video, comment in the chat box, and tell everybody else how grateful you are to be here, because it's those people in the chat box that keep this community going, make it possible, make it sustainable, and make it exceptional. And I have got a lot of patience when it comes to helping people understand and educating people with regards to trading. I've got an awful lot of patience when it comes to waiting for price to come to me. But I've got absolutely no tolerance for people who are ungrateful or who are too stupid to know what's good for them. And I don't think that there is any problem with those two beliefs being held concurrently. So know that I absolutely, desperately appreciate you for what you do for supporting this channel. Every single one of you who watch along. And I absolutely think that if you don't at least make your way to the like button, that you are an absolute tool, a complete and utter numpty, and that you can go and piss up a rope, you fat elephant's fanny. If you don't like that, I'm happy, right? I'm happy that along with not liking this video, you don't like that commentary. It's for you, it should live with you, and you yourself don't know a good thing when it would slap you in the face. Hit the like button, and if you haven't heard a greater reason to hit the like button, if you've ever heard a more forceful delivery of that request, let me know. I would like to check it out so I can improve my technique. Thank you, my friend. I am very sorry. Very thankful, pardon me, for your patience. I support the channel the best I can and never miss that like button. Jim Lewis, hit accept gifts. I'd love to have you as part of the community and people out here getting gifts for people. You could get one and I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you, buddy. Cheers. 120 viewers concurrently. 120 people watching me live on the internet. Can you believe it? Mom! Joking. Can you pull up a photo of a plug right now? Of a plug? pull up a photo of a plug. I could. What would be the reasoning for this? I could certainly do it, but what would be the benefits? Do you want to see what a plug looks like? A plug. You mean a plug as opposed to a socket, right? You mean the actual plug. And are you talking like European style or US plugs? What sort of plug would you like to see? We've got a whole selection and choice for you, for you yourself, Daniel. I mean, shall we go with both a plug and a socket? A plug and a socket, sir. We want to see everything. We want to see plugs that plug into plugs that are sockets that plug into sockets that are plugs. That's what we want to see. And we want no excuses. We want plug sockets and plug sockets and nothing but plug sockets that have to be able to connect to each other. That's what we're looking for in the show right now. So can we do that, TradeSpotting? Can we make that happen? A plug and a socket. Can you achieve all of these objectives in the one strike? Certainly, sir. Where is Streamlabs so that I can do this amazing activity? Yo, where is it though? Seriously, where's Streamlabs gone? Where are you at, Streamlabs? Ah, here we are. So you wanted to see a picture of a plug, Daniel? There's sockets that plug into, so they're plug-in sockets that plug into each other, that are sockets that are plugs, and so there's all of your possible requirements satisfied. They're not actually UK or European plugs; they're American. But I did you the favor, and more than repaid that $100, I think, with that action. Ha! Jokes. That was very funny, though, wasn't it? Cheers, Daniel. Boy, what that opened up. Yes, what it opened up. Whole new inventions. Have you ever seen that kind of thing before? That'll overload your system. But there's nothing wrong with that because you're used to that kind of deal here at TradeSpotting, where you overfill your trolley and underspend your budget. Or is that the other way around? I don't know. Everybody's budgets are increasing when they watch this show. Thanks very much for watching. This place rules, and it's you guys that make it so. Thank you very much. Here on TradeSpotting, we are aware of the fact there is no help in rushing to be rich. It's where hopes and dreams meet ends and means. And that magic is possible because of the connections we have between each other. And we're going to use that magic to make you a magic trader, to make you change the markets and that efficiency that you deliver in that incredibly difficult arena. That will ultimately change the world. You and together, us and Rocky Outcrop and everyone who's over on that channel and that Discord, but not necessarily tuning in here, us together have a reputation unlike any other community, such that important people know very well what it is that we're trying to do and are even on our side. And so the more we work, the harder we commit to our cause, the more likely we are to be successful. Not simply in that we level up our own skills, but we also attract the attention of people who can really make a difference. Not just here in the chat box, but large market participants who want to see us succeed. And boy, are we going to give them a show.